The Sword Art Online train has been chugging along for a few years now and has gotten its fair share of hate from the anime community, but nevertheless the majority of people still love the heck out of it, and will continue to watch anything Sword Art Online related. Which leads us to a new anime, Sword Art Online Alternative, Gale Online. The world of Gale Online was first shown to us in Season 2 of SAO, and it truly was refreshing to see Kirito explore a game which practically had no similarities to Sword Art and Alfheim Online. What made Season 2 so interesting is that Kirito was no longer OP, because Gale Online was a shooter, and Kirito's skills primarily involved swords, forcing him into an interesting character arc where he had to learn this new complex game without swords. Oh no, wait, they gave him a lightsaber, and he remained OP for the entire season? That's great. No, that's fine. I'm totally fine with that. I'm fine. I love OP Kirito. He's my favorite. I love his character arc. But you're not here to hear me complain about that, so let's move on. SAO Alternative follows a woman named Llenn who begins to play Gale Online after the auto-generating avatar system generates her character as a short, cute girl, which contrasts her tall, young adult self in the real world. What's interesting about this show is that it does not involve characters from the other Sword Art Online seasons. They make references to other SAO characters and even events taken place in the past, but don't actually have any of the old characters, such as Kirito or Asuna, make an appearance. It's nice and refreshing to see a somewhat original story and casts take place within the same universe and timeline to the original series. And don't go in the comments and say,
"But Sweevy, World's in the same universe as SAO!"
Yeah, I know that, but it's based in the future of SAO. However, SAO Alternative is taking place in the present. But I digress. Let's move on to characters. Lenn's character design is cute and awesome. Simple as that. Pink obviously isn't practical in a game like Gale Online, however her clothes are pink because she wanted it to be pink and it looks adorable, which was the whole reason why she began playing GGO in the first place, and that really shows her personality, and the colours made her whole character design pop out and really nice to look at. Later on, she even uses her pink clothing to her advantage by hiding in a pink-coloured desert and using pink smoke grenades to rush an enemy. Overall, the idea that a person would wear an outgoing colour like pink in a shooter? It's absurd, but the story uses a somewhat satisfying excuse in order to suspend your disbelief. Alright, if you thought this video would be me praising this show for a few minutes, you'd be completely wrong. Personally, I really enjoyed the first 5 episodes when we got to meet Llenn for the first time and follow her through her first SJ tournament. The SJ tournament basically is a battle royale game mode in GGO. So to be honest, it's basically Fortnite the anime. Overall, I really enjoyed it. But after the 5th episode, the show goes downhill. The story shifts to a more complex plot. Rather than in the first 5 episodes where the goal is to simply win the tournament, Llenn is now tasked to make sure she kills Pito in the second SJ tournament, Pito being a friend Llenn made when she first started playing GGO. And if Llenn doesn't manage to kill Pito in the second SJ tournament, Pito will commit suicide IRL. However, even though Llenn is trying to kill Pito in the tournament in order to save her, it doesn't seem like she really cares. She says she cares, but she seems so nonchalant about the whole idea that Pito, a human being, is going to kill herself if Llenn doesn't succeed in killing her in the tournament. Also, Lenn's only known Pito for about 6 months or so. All Pito is a stereotypical sexy psychopath who loves death. And even when we get a backstory on Pito, we don't get to see how she turned out like the way she is, or even why she thinks and acts in such a psychotic way. It's just lazy writing in my opinion. Why should I care about what happens to Pito? The only reason why Llenn cares what happens to Pito is because she kind of knows her and doesn't want her to die just because she's another human being. But anyways, that was my main complaint about SAO Alternative. The animation was pretty good though. I was certainly terrified I'd see another CGI crowd here and there, but thankfully I didn't. However, since the show is constantly trying to keep afloat its arguably awful plot with action, they had to cut a few corners, especially when it came to the climax of the show. For some reason, they thought most of the climax should involve vehicles, which were CGI. I kept getting taken out of the moment because I kept noticing a derpy animated head sitting in a so-called car, which looked like a pre-rendered graphic from PUBG. I get that it's based off a light novel, and they probably didn't have the budget to make everything look glamorous. But if throughout the show you've been giving me pretty neat action scenes, then why, for the love of Kayaba Akihiko, do you finish the show off with two textured boxes hitting each other for around 10 minutes? Anyways, when the animation was good, the animation was frickin' good. They had small, awesome bits of animation littered throughout the show, which was really nice to see. Here's an example. Absolutely amazing, I know. That was probably my favourite scene in the entirety of the anime. All in all, Sword Art Online Alternative Gale Online is an anime with a fun concept, lifted from Sword Art Online Season 2. The show failed in my eyes, but had some enjoyable scenes littered throughout its duration. However, even though I may not have enjoyed it, I'm still curious to hear your thoughts on the show, so feel free to voice your opinions in the comments below. Hope you enjoyed the video, and have a good one.